So you just got home from your trip to Europe, you've got a nice tan, and you're full of espresso and cappuccino, and you're excited to dig into all the photos you took on the trip. And then you remember you took a kit lens. I mean, I might be speaking from experience. All you'll need to do is find Portrait AI, and with one click, your photos go from tourist to pro. Do you love taking photos, but find it frustrating when it comes to editing? Maybe you can't get your images to a place that you're happy with, or maybe you do, but you just want to take it to the next level. In this video, we'll be exploring some of Luminar Neo's most impressive features that will take your photography to the next level. And if you stick around to the end, I've got a discount code for you. So, does this look familiar? You've got a photo where you love the composition or subject that you're shooting, but the lighting just wasn't right. Maybe you were shooting during the wrong part of the day, or your subject was just in the shadow. Maybe the sun's just not hitting right. Well, lucky for you, with the Relight AI feature, you can easily adjust the lighting in your image to create the perfect atmosphere. So let's find an image like this in Lightroom. I primarily use Lightroom to edit and organize my images, and lucky for us, there's a plugin built right into Lightroom to open our images in Luminar Neo. Once the image loads, we'll navigate to the right-hand side and select Relight. This feature uses artificial intelligence to analyze the photo and make intelligent adjustments to the lighting. There are only a few dials to play with, and we can choose to control the light nearest to the viewer, farther away, or even change the distance between those. I wish this feature was available ages ago because it would have saved my butt so many times. It's rare that I'm shooting something that's perfectly lit, and more times than not, a scene is unevenly lit. And I don't always have the lights or a bounce to fix that while I'm shooting. So what I've been doing up until now is using graduated filters and masks. Luminar Neo intelligently makes its own masks, and these allow me to subtly and gradually add and remove light from sections of the image. You know, and this old way works, but it's not fast and it's not the most practical. But with Luminar Neo, we can do this quickly. So with the brightness near slider, I'm gonna adjust that till I find a good exposure for my subject, and then I'll use the brightness far slider to darken the background. Right there looks good. There's also a depth slider if you wanna make subtle adjustments. If you click the advanced features, there's also the option to change the color temperature of what's in the background or the foreground. And this is going to work in all kinds of situations, but especially best when your subject and background have some distance between them. I've got some photos here from an overcast day in Lagos. The sky was dull and uninteresting, and that's a bummer because I traveled all the way to Portugal to get some photos here. The sky replacement tool allows you to replace the sky in your photos with a more interesting one. So let's navigate to the panel on the right and find sky. Here, the program will suggest some skies that it thinks will look most appropriate in your scene. If you don't think those will work for you, you can click Sky Selection, and you can look for a sky that makes more sense to the scene. Maybe it's more true to the location or time of the year. This feature uses AI to analyze the photo and identify the sky, making it easy to replace it with a new one. It's nice how many options of skies we have to choose from, and with one click, that was fast. No masking, no cutting around scenery. This program is smart, but I still suggest proofing the results to make sure you like how it looks. We're given some options if we want to make some adjustments to our scene. There's sky orientation if you want to adjust the location and size of the sky that's been inserted. Mask refinement if you need to close any holes that the program may have missed. Scene relighting, and even an option for reflection if you've got a body of water that's going to show the reflection of the sky. The slider I use the most is defocus to get the sky looking exactly how I want it. Luminar gives us a ton of skies to choose from, and even the option to upload our own if we're looking for something really specific. So one of my favorite things to do when I'm out traveling is taking photos out on the streets. Have you ever been to the Philippines, India, or Indonesia, and the power lines are just insane? When I'm shooting places like this, I think the power lines can look pretty amazing, and sometimes they even give a sense of place to where you are. However, sometimes they just get in the way of the subject you're trying to shoot. This isn't the most difficult task while editing. You can use an eraser or a spot remover or spot healing or content aware fill or whatever the program you use is called. You just draw over the power lines and you tell the program that you want that stuff removed. Well, this takes forever, especially if you're doing it for more than one photo. With Luminar Neo's power line remover, all you need to do is... That was fast. I didn't have to tell the program what was a power line or what wasn't, and I didn't even have to tell it where to clone it from. This thing's smart. Maybe it's lucky. Let's try this on another photo. Okay, Luminar is not always perfect, so you do have the option to paint over whatever it may have missed or something that you do want gone, and it does a pretty good job of removing all that unwanted clutter. So just when you thought the features couldn't get any better, I think I saved the best one for last. Enhance AI. Just by adjusting this one slider, your photo is going to look instantly better. It's just like adding contrast, but in an intelligent way. Let's see how the Luminar website describes this. One slider with an intelligent algorithm balances up to a dozen fundamental controls, including shadows, highlight, contrast, tone, saturation, exposure, and details. Use Enhance AI to lay the foundation. Okay, that was a whole bunch, but all I know is it works for me, and it looks natural. There's so many times when I've edited my images to a place where I feel like it looks pretty good, and even transferred over to my iPhone, and it just looks like it's missing something. And what it's been missing is Enhance AI. I will say this feature does need to be used in moderation. A little bit goes a long way. Remember when you discovered what the clarity or the HDR slider was? This is kind of the same thing. You're gonna wanna go on the lighter end. I've been using this feature when I'm finished my editing, and I'm just looking for that little extra pop on the photos. I can't tell you why this may or may not be the perfect software for you, but I can tell you why I enjoy using it. This program has been amazing for me when I'm editing commercial work. These types of photos usually have more polish and professionalism than other genres. I've really been enjoying the Relight tool, the Enhance, and even the Skin tool. I mean, the Skin tool, we haven't even talked about this one yet. Editing skin is its own set of skills, and there's a section in here that helps me with that. It's gonna make more intelligent decisions than me, and honestly, I don't have the skills to learn how to smooth somebody's skin in Photoshop. On top of that, the software and interface for this are simple. The learning curve for this program is not steep. I'm sure there are better programs, tools, cameras, and techniques out there that are better than what I'm using, but the barrier to using these is that it takes time to learn this, and I don't have the time. Luminar Neo is simple because the program just works. I don't have to draw masks, I don't have a bunch of sliders to learn, and I don't have to learn a bunch of new techniques like skin, replacing skies, adding in the sun rays, and so on. It's all built into the program. There are so many tools that I didn't touch on, like erasing, super contrast, sun rays, color harmony, and much, much more. But don't take my word for it. There are plenty of other people on the web with their own reasons for using Luminar Neo. I encourage you to give Luminar Neo a try. There's a link in the description of this video, and there's a discount. My name's Davey, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you in the next one.